Good morning, day 4 of my Buller Huts walk. Noticed something unusual, blue sky and sunshine. Had a fairly hectic night down here last night, lightning, thunder. One stage this place started to flood. The water was running down the walking track off Mount Howitt, like a creek, like a waterfall, straight into my campsite. So that was interesting. And the lightning kept me awake. Tent's pretty translucent as it is, let alone when it's lit up by lightning. And anyway, it was all good. Survived the night. Got a bit of good weather for the Crosscut Saw and Mount Spec by the look of it. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to get walking. It's about 9 o'clock. I've been drying some gear out. All right, take it easy. Well, this looks a bit more promising. A lot more promising. So the go is now head up over Howitt, grab some water and head across the Crosscut Saw. That looks good. That's my day's walk across there. So I'm just walking down to the spring at Mount Howitt. To top up before I head across the Crosscut Saw. You can hear plenty of running water. Not surprising after all the rain we've had. So the spring's running good. There's a few bits of pipe here to help you kind of plug it into the water to get the water out if you want. Time to hit the Crosscut Saw. That's the Devil's Staircase, I think. That's the Crosscut Saw in front of me. And that's Mount Howitt. You can see some school kids up on top maybe. And that's Mount Speculation, where I'm heading. This has to be the best few Ks of walking in Victoria, I reckon. So I'm into the infamous Razor Viking wilderness now for a little bit. You can hear those school kids over on Howitt yelling and screaming still. Sounds like they're having the time of their life. I think it might be time for morning smoko before I get off the Crosscut Saw. make the most of these views today. So that's the Razor on the left over there, and the Viking on the right. So I've just come up from the left there. On the right, dropping off the edge there, is Stanley named spur. There's a nice camp about a K1.5 down there too, with water. Alright, I think I'll get up here and have a break. And excuse the heavy breathing. Okay, morning smoke has been called. That's Mount Buller, where I started. So the speculation looks pretty close. Surprising how long it'll take me. It'll take me another probably a good 3 hours to get there, maybe 4. Aren't they a beautiful tree? So I mentioned before it's going to take me a few hours to get across to Mount Speculation. This is why. It's way rougher than you'd imagine through here. So I'm up on Mount Buggery, just had lunch. This is where I camped on there a few months ago when I was walking the AAWT. Bit misty on that, didn't get the views on that occasion. That's where I've just come across the Crosscut Saw up there. Alright, so I'm going to drop into, I think it's Horrible Gap, or Terrible Gap, and then I've got to climb up Mount Spec this afternoon. And that is why they call it Horrible Gap. And drop right down there and then climb up to that. And it's steep both ways. So I've just reached the first scramble. There's a fixed rope here now, but I don't know if I'd trust it. I think I'd just rather scramble. It's not a super hard scramble. Okay, I'm up. So there's a few ways to skin this cat. There's that past that rock buttress there. It's a very, very easy scramble. It is a bit airy, and that's where the rope is. The other way up that I've done before, it's probably not as safe, is this ledge here. So that ledge there, it's once you're on the ledge, the top bit it's easy. Getting on at the bottom is a little bit tenuous, but there's not a lot of, well, you wouldn't want to fall, but there's not heaps of exposure. All right, on to the next one. I've got another one coming up. So I'm thinking this is the second scramble. This one's a bit easier. He says from the bottom. Let's get up it, eh? Okay, so I'm up. That one was a fair bit easier. Geez, there's some nice wildflowers out at the moment. Okay, I'm getting towards the top of Mount Speculation now. Still got a bit to go yet though. I think that's more or less the top up there. Although there could be a few false summits, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, this is the last rock scramble. I think this, I don't know, we'll call this number 3, I suppose. This one's a little bit harder than the one in the middle. It's still pretty easy. Okay, that one wasn't too bad. The only thing, the rock was wet, but I think that's because of all the rain we've had, so yeah, it's definitely one you probably want to put your poles away and use your hands there. Okay, second lunch on top of Mount Speculation. It's about 2:30. So that was Mount Buggery there, where I had lunch, and that's the Crosscut Saw over there, where I had morning smoke. So this is the view from the top of Spec. That's looking across towards the Viking and the Razor. But I'm heading the other way today, over towards Mount Cobbler. So I'll drop down and grab some water and wander off towards Mustering Flat. I might camp there, I might camp somewhere else. We'll see how we go. So that knobby one out there is Mount Cobbler. That's where I'm heading tomorrow. But yeah, that's all in my future. But I'll be making my way in that general direction this afternoon. That's Wanangata Valley down there, in case anyone's wondering. So Camp Creek's flowing well anyway, after all the rain. So I'm walking down Speculation Road. There's water everywhere flowing off the side of Speculation and Kunika. Certainly didn't have to worry about getting water at Camp Creek. I don't know if that's coming up on video. That's just a sheet of water coming out down the side of the hill there. Yep, there's certainly plenty of water. I've been on Speculation Road quite a few times over the years doing food drops to the Alps and just climbing speculation or going out the Razor Viking. I've never seen this much water flowing down across the road. Okay, so I've made it to the spot where I wanted to be. I'm just past Mustering Flat at the spot where the cobbler track over there heads off. It's this minor track. So tomorrow morning the plan is get up early, grab my day pack, do a loop up over Cobbler Lake, and then come back, grab my overnight pack, and head off down to the King River. So yeah, that's the plan. Sounds easy if I say it quick. The little loop's about 10 k's. Anyway, I'll be right. Okay, so today was a fairly solid day after a very slow start. I didn't leave camp till 9ish. I was drying everything out and just taking my time after a hectic night last night in those storms. Still did 19.3 k's, climbed about 745 metres according to all trails. So yeah, it looks like I got one more day of good weather, so I'm going to make the most of tomorrow. And then on Saturday, it's meant to go feral again, another 30 to 40 mil of rain. So I'm even thinking I might, instead of finishing Sunday, I might finish on push a bit and finish on Saturday rather than spend another night camped in the rain. And there's no real reason. I think I can finish it pretty easy in 2 days. This little 10k loop in the morning is a side trip, so it actually adds more than 10 k's because it's about 1.5 kilometres down the track. Probably adds about, I don't know, 13, 14 k's to the walk, but anyway, it's all good. So yeah, I hope the photos and the video from the Crosscut Saw and Mount Spec and Mount Howitt came out, because it was another stunner up there. That's just amazing walking up there. All right, I'll catch you tomorrow. Mount Cobbler is another good one. Fingers crossed.